a grim dungeon, terrifying monsters, and 12 average peasants with little to no hope for survival. Sounds like fun to me. Welcome to the zero level funnel for 5e. Hey there, adventurers. Welcome back to Short Rest Studios. I'm Judd, and in addition to being a fan of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, I'm also a fan of Goodman Games' Dungeon Crawl Classics. Incidentally, you can grab a free PDF of the DCC Quick Start rules. I'll drop a link to that in the description. One of the things that DCC is known for, and one of my favorite features of the game, is the zero level funnel. Also known as a gauntlet or a meat grinder, the zero level funnel uses randomization and actual gameplay to make character creation unpredictable and an absolute blast. Each player in a party of 4 to 6 rolls up 3 to 4 characters using some streamlined rules. All 12 to 24 cram into a dungeon with little more than their wits. The ones who make it out alive move on to level 1 and become real adventurers. Today, I want to walk you through how to convert this super fun experience to use with 5th edition D&D. The zero level rulebook from Weird Works and 5th edition funnel from 10 Red Crows Press were great resources for me in putting all this together. Each book has rules for rolling up characters and for running a funnel, as well as some simplified character sheets and a ton of great random tables to use in the process. I'll drop links to those in the description too. Now let's roll up a zero level character. And Dungeon Masters, I'll have a few things for you along the way, but you want to make sure you stick around for some tips on running a zero level adventure at the end of this video. Step 1, your race. My suggestion is that you do this whole process randomly. Honestly, coming up with a bunch of weird, totally random characters is half the fun, especially when your Dragonborn confectioner levels up and becomes a Path of the Berserker barbarian. That said, if you want to give your players some choice during this process, this step is the place to do it. I definitely leave everything else to chance. You'll want to start with a table of all the races available in your world, divided up based on a D100 roll. The resources I mentioned earlier do have pre-built race tables depending on the type of world you want to run. I'm rolling mine up right now using the race table from the zero level rulebook. So I rolled a 94 on the zero level rulebook race table, which is a half orc. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Half orc. On your character sheet, go ahead and write in your size, speed, and your basic racial abilities. These will be the same that you'd have for a regular first level character. For languages, you get common and the races language, so write that in too. And make a note of your race's ability bonuses. You're gonna need those in step 2. If you happen to roll or choose Dragonborn, next you'll want to roll or choose your ancestry. DMs, you can create a D100 table for that as well, or you can use the one in the zero level rulebook. In my opinion, Dragonborn breath weapons are gonna be seriously overpowered for a zero level commoner, so I would only allow them to take the color and damage resistance. You can breathe lightning when you're a real adventurer, but that may feel weird to you, so go ahead and let them take it. It's your game and you're fun. Step 2, your character attributes. This is where rolling the dice really makes it fun. The whole point of the funnel is that death is always around the corner. Balance is meaningless. Okay, maybe meaningless is too strong, but it's not about a fair fight. It's about survival of the fittest, or the cleverest, is that a word? The most clever. In that case, we're gonna roll our ability scores. Rather than the standard rolling 4d6 and taking the highest 3 for each ability, we're gonna roll 3d6 for each stat in order: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. And remember, randomness is the point. Picking and choosing which roll goes with which stat removes that randomness. Let me roll my stats. So for this step, I made sure to find the 3 most random and useless 6-sided dice that I could find. So I'm gonna roll my ability scores. So we're starting with strength. And that's 6, 8, 10 strength. Dexterity, 6, 11, 13 dexterity. Constitution, 8. I think that's a 6. Yeah. So 8 and 6 is 14. Intelligence, 3, 6, 9. So it's 9, 10 for intelligence. Man, I'm just knocking them out of the park today, aren't I? And wisdom, 5, 6, 8. 8 wisdom. Don't take my advice, guys. Charisma. And of course, 4, 6. Charisma. Now, I need to go back. The reason I'm using a pencil instead of a pen is because now I need to add my racial modifiers. +2 to strength, which gives me a 12. My eraser's not working great, but there we go. Got 12 on strength. And I get +1 to constitution, which means I get 15 constitution. That was a pretty wussy half work right there, guys. And go ahead and write in your modifiers based on the regular 5e rules. Next, I'm gonna roll my hit points, and that also works like a standard first level character. Your hit die roll plus your con modifier. But in this case, your hit die is a d4. The greatest of all dice, the d4. Come on, 4, come on, 4. I can't even see that. It's a 2. I got 2 hit points. Thankfully, I actually had a halfway decent constitution, so I have 4 hit points. Now I'm going to fill in the rest of my basic stats. 10 plus dexterity modifier for armor class, +2 for proficiency, dexterity modifier for initiative. Skip over the saving throw stuff and skills. What do you think you are, a real adventurer? We lowly peasants do not get such things until we level up. Efficiency bonus is +2 for initiative. I get +1. Speed is 3. My armor class is going to be 11, which is absolutely terrible. But that's the fun of it, right? DMs, you might feel like it's more intuitive to go ahead and apply the ability modifiers wherever they would normally go. But if you do that, in this case, my suggestion is leave off the proficiency bonus. Step 3. Your occupation. Adventurers, this is my favorite part of making a 0 level character because you're nobody. You don't write a backstory. This funnel adventure is gonna be your superhero origin story. Dungeon Masters, for this step, you need to supply your players with a D100 table of occupations. Each of those occupations should provide a character with, at the very least, some kind of simple weapon and an item related to their occupation. But you can add other aspects to that if you want. For example, in the 0 level rulebook, the occupation tables also give you money, a proficiency, and clothes. If you want to at least make sure your characters have occupations that make sense when combined with their stats, the 0 level rulebook has an occupation table related to each stat. So for example, if strength is your highest stat, you would roll on the strength occupation table. If intelligence is your highest stat, you'd roll on the intelligence occupation table, and so on. But, and hear me out here, where's the fun in that? The more random, the better. I mean, how amazing would it be to be the world's strongest herbalist or a freaking genius gong farmer? What's that? What's a gong farmer? They go out at night and dig up poop. Look it up. And I don't think proficiencies really matter all that much at level 0. Just add that to your leveling up tasks after the funnel, if you survive. So here's my suggestion. Get yourself a copy of the Dungeon Crawl Classics Quick Start Rules. Remember, it's free. The occupation table is on page 5 in the current version and has about 60 options. But as of the recording of this video, there is an old version floating around out there that has all 100. I'll drop that link in the description. To get the full suite of options, you can also grab a copy of the DCC Core Rulebook and check out pages 22 and 23. Or for 10 bucks, you can grab this handy dandy DCC reference booklet that has all the tables from the core rules. The occupation table's on pages 6 and 7. I'll put affiliate links to those books in the description as well. If you use those though, you'll notice that some of the occupations are related to specific races. You can either drop the race, just be a chicken butcher instead of a halfling chicken butcher, or you can re-roll if you get one of those. So players, let's roll our occupation and write it in the background spot on your character sheets. I'm using the DCC table. We're gonna roll a D100 on the DCC occupation table. Come on, Gong Farmer. Come on, Gong Farmer. Roll a 25. 25, which is a dwarven mushroom farmer. You know what? I'm gonna roll again. Because it would be really weird for a half-orc to be a dwarven mushroom farmer. So this time I rolled a 60, halfling haberdasher. That's it. We made a 0 level character. It's alive! Now, just make 2 to 3 more, go play a funnel, and come back when you're ready to level up. It's okay, I'll wait. Hey, adventurers, you're back. You had a blast, didn't you? You finished your 0 level funnel adventure and one of your commoners actually survived, so now it's time to level up. And don't worry, it's super simple. First, if you didn't already, pick a subrace. You'll get some features and ability bonuses from that, so add those to your character sheet, as well as any features that you didn't add during your 0 level build. Next, you're gonna choose a class, just like you would normally. This, of course, is going to give you hit points, so just add the hit points at first level to your max 0 level hit points. Then go ahead and choose a background, just like a normal first level build. But if you want to keep true to your character's origins, the 0 level rulebook has a commoner background designed specifically for this. And of course, during this step, you can go ahead and add your proficiencies, traits, flaws, bonds, languages, all that stuff. And finally, players, each of these books, 5th edition funnel and the 0 level rulebook, also offer options for boosting ability scores when you reach level 1. The first option is to roll a d6 for each ability score and add 1 to that stat. If you roll 1 to 3, add 2 if you roll 4 to 6. The second option is you get 5 ability points to distribute among your stats as you see fit. I think either one of these works great, or maybe your DM has another idea altogether. All right, Dungeon Masters, I promised you some tips for running a 0 level funnel, and here they are. Number 1. Use a level 1 one-shot. Yes, they're designed for more powerful characters than these level 0 peons, but there are a whole lot more of these peons than you usually have. You may need to modify a few things, but this should balance things out a bit. There are a ton of great first level adventures out there, and in fact, AAW Games has a bunch of free or very inexpensive mini dungeons that could work great for a funnel. And speaking of balance, number 2, they're gonna die anyway. The characters have like 4 hit points. It doesn't matter if they take 1d4 damage or 3d10, they'll be lucky to survive. That's the point, and that's the fun of it. So don't be afraid to throw some ridiculously powerful monsters at them. I mean, you might want to mention that it's okay to run away, but tip number 3, initiative. You have a lot of PCs to deal with. I mean, a lot. If I were you, I'd have every player roll initiative once for their entire group of characters and add their highest initiative modifier. Everyone goes in initiative order, but each player runs all their characters' actions on their turn. Now here's a bonus tip. Instead of running a level 1 adventure module, you could use a DCC funnel module. The 0 level rulebook actually includes some great rules for converting one of these to 5e. The DCC core rulebook includes a great funnel adventure called The Portal Under the Stars that could be a really fun lead-in to your own campaign. Another one I like is called Hole in the Sky. I'll drop those links in the description too. I want to give a shout out to fellow DCC fan Bob Worldbuilder for giving me some feedback on this episode. I would love to hear your questions and suggestions about running or playing a 0 level 5e funnel, so drop those in the comments. And if you do play one, let me know how it went.